touch the ground before the day begins, before a single word is spoken or a single task is attempted. There is a prayer. It has been recited every morning for thousands of years by hundreds of millions of Hindu men, women, and children across every corner of the world. It takes less than 30 seconds, and it transforms the most ordinary act of waking up into a sacred moment of divine connection. This is the Karagrave Vasate Lakshmi, the morning hand prayer, the first prayer of the Hindu day. In Hindu tradition, the human body is not merely a biological instrument, it is a sacred vehicle, a temple through which the divine expresses itself in the world. And the hands, perhaps more than any other part of the body, are the instruments through which human beings act in the world, through which they build and create and give and serve, through which they worship and offer and touch and heal. The ancient sages of the Hindu tradition understood that the hands are not merely physical tools, they are sacred instruments inhabited by divine presence. And they taught that the very first act of every morning should be to recognize and honor that divine presence before using the hands for anything else. The front of the hands, the fingertips, are the dwelling place of Lakshmi, the goddess of beauty, grace, prosperity, and all that is auspicious and good. What we create with our hands, what we build, what we offer, what we bring into being, is under the blessing of Lakshmi. The middle of the hands, the palms, are the dwelling place of Saraswati, the goddess of knowledge, wisdom, learning, and the arts. The understanding we bring to our actions, the intelligence and the discernment with which we navigate the world, is under the blessing of Saraswati. The base of the hands, the wrists, are the dwelling place of Govinda, Krishna, Vishnu, the divine preserver who sustains all of existence. The sustaining power that underlies every act we perform, every step we take, is under the blessing of Govinda. And so the first act of every morning is to hold the hands before the face, to look at them with awareness and gratitude, and to recite this prayer, acknowledging the divine presence within the very instruments through which we will live this day. Kargri Vasate Lakshmi, Karamadye Saraswati, Karamuli tu Govinda, Prabhote Kara Darshanam. At the front of the hands dwells Lakshmi. At the middle of the hands dwells Saraswati. At the base of the hands dwells Govinda. Therefore, in the morning, one should behold one's hands. Now let us recite this prayer together. Hold your hands before your face, both hands, palms facing toward you. Look at them with awareness and gratitude. Take a slow breath and repeat after me. Karagri Vasate Lakshmi. At the front of my hands dwells Lakshmi, the goddess of grace and beauty. Karamadye Saraswati. At the middle of my hands dwells Saraswati, the goddess of wisdom and knowledge. Karamuli to Govinda. At the base of my hands dwells Govinda, the divine sustainer of all life. Prabhat Kara Darshanam. In the morning, I behold my hands and honor the divine within them. Now recite it again, this time with your eyes open, looking at your hands as you speak each line. Karagri Vasate Lakshmi. Karamadye Saraswati. Karamuli to Govinda. Prabhat Kara Darshanam. One more time, slowly, with complete attention. Karagri Vasate Lakshmi. Karamadye Saraswati, Karamuli to Govinda, Prabhat Kara Darshanam. Why do we look at our hands? In Hindu philosophy, the act of darshana, of seeing, is never a passive act. To see something is to enter into relationship with it, to acknowledge it, to honor it. When we look at our hands in this prayer, we are not merely stretching our fingers before getting out of bed. We are performing an act of consecration. We are recognizing that these hands, which will cook and clean and work and touch and create today, are sacred instruments, that the divine has chosen to act in the world through them. And we are setting an intention for how we will use them. Hands that carry the presence of Lakshmi will be used to create beauty, to bring grace and abundance into the lives of those around us. Hands that carry the presence of Saraswati will be used with wisdom, with discernment, with intelligence, with care. Hands that carry the presence of Govinda will be used in service, to sustain, to nourish, to protect. The Bhagavad Gita 18:46 expresses this understanding of work as worship. By performing one's own work, one worships the Creator who dwells in every creature. Through devotion to one's own work, one attains perfection. Every act performed with awareness and dedication is an act of worship. And this prayer, offered at the very beginning of the day before the hands have touched anything, consecrates every act that will follow. This prayer is recited every morning immediately upon waking, before getting out of bed, before touching the floor, before touching your phone. Hold both hands before your face, look at them, and recite the 4 lines. It takes approximately 20 seconds. It requires no special equipment, no special posture, no special knowledge of Sanskrit. It can be recited in a whisper. It can be recited silently in the mind. It can be recited by a child or by an elder. The tradition recommends reciting it 3 times, once for the body, once for the mind, and once for the soul. Over time, with daily practice, this prayer becomes a reflex, a natural first response to waking, and it begins to change the quality of the entire day. Because every day that begins with the recognition of the divine in one's own hands is a day in which the possibility of sacred action is kept alive. May your hands be instruments of grace today. May Lakshmi bless what you create, may Saraswati bless what you understand, and may Govinda sustain every step you take. Karagri Vasate, Lakshmi, Karamuli, Saraswati, Karamadhya, to Govinda, Prabhate, Karadarshanam. A pair of hands engaged in various sacred acts throughout the day, cooking, offering flowers, helping another person, all shown in one cinematic wide scene. The consecrated hands living their day, warm golden light, a person offering food to another, with both hands, the act of giving as sacred service, the hands of Lakshmi at work in the world, warm, intimate light, close-up of hands arranging flowers before a deity image, the hands of Saraswati at work, creating beauty with awareness, warm amber light, marigolds vivid against dark stone, extreme close-up of hands folded in Namaste, the greeting that honors the divine in another. the consecrated hands recognizing the divine in every encounter, looking up at hands raised in offering, holding flowers or a lamp against a golden sky, the hands as sacred instruments offered upward, dramatic and devotional, looking down at hands placing an offering on a puja tray from above, the sacred act of the consecrated hands seen from above, flowers and lamp on the tray, two hands silhouetted in namaste gesture against a golden sunset, the consecrated hands ending the day as they began it in recognition of the divine, the morning prayer completing its circle. A traditional Indian home at the sacred moment between night and dawn. One lamp burning, one figure in morning prayer, the city outside still dark, the day not yet begun, the most sacred threshold of the Hindu day. Deep amber and darkness. A grandmother teaching a small child to hold their hands before their face in morning prayer. Both looking at their hands, the ancient tradition passed from one generation to the next in the simplest possible gesture. Warm lamplight, close-up of a child's small hands held before their face for the first time in morning prayer. The tiny hands, the enormous tradition, the beginning of a lifetime of sacred mornings, warm light, a single diya flame burning in the pre-dawn darkness in extreme close-up, the first light of the sacred day. Deep amber, absolute stillness, the flame that begins every morning. Looking up at the dawn sky from a doorway, the first light breaking, a figure in the doorway having completed their morning prayer, ready for the day, the consecrated beginning from below, looking down at a family home from above at the sacred pre-dawn hour, one light burning in one window, the morning prayer happening in the darkness, the sacred hidden in the ordinary. A single figure silhouetted in a doorway at the exact moment of dawn. Behind them, the lamp of the morning prayer still burning. Before them, the first light of the new day, the consecrated human being at the threshold of a sacred day. Gold and deep amber.